Hi, I'm Val, and I'm going to show you two different flavors of pavlova. The traditional vanilla and caramel chocolate, just like a candy bar. But first, its fascinating story. Once upon a time in the late 1920s, there was a grand baking competition between Australia and New Zealand to create a national dessert that would leave the world in awe. The tension was high as both countries aimed to claim ownership of this culinary masterpiece. In Australia, a talented pastry chef named Henry was determined to create something extraordinary. One fateful day, after a series of failed attempts, he accidentally spilled a batch of meringue onto a baking tray. This resulted in a large, flat, and delicate dessert base. Crikey, this might be the next big thing! Inspired by the elegance of a famous Russian ballerina visiting Australia, Anna Pavlova, he decided to name his creation Pavlova. Meanwhile, in New Zealand, a mischievous baker named Liam was up to his own tricks. Determined to outdo the Australians, he concocted a meringue-based dessert of his own. However, Liam's mischievous nature got the best of him when he accidentally knocked over a bottle of vanilla extract into his mixture. Oh well, who doesn't like a little extra vanilla flavor? As the judges tasted both desserts, they were torn. The Australians argued that the pavlova was light and airy, reminiscent of the delicate grace of Anna Pavlova herself. The New Zealanders, on the other hand, praised the unique vanilla-infused flavor of their creation. Unable to declare a clear winner, the judges decided to keep the peace by declaring both Australia and New Zealand as the birthplace of the pavlova. And so, to this day, the debate continues, leaving the dessert forever entangled in a whimsical tale of misadventure and culinary rivalry. So preheat your oven to 250 degrees and let's go have some fun. You just take 3 egg whites and whisk those till they're nice and foamy. Whisk on medium speed, about a 6, so you'll get smaller bubbles that are more stable. And add half a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of cornstarch, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. You want to whisk until pretty much the whole thing is bubbles and forms soft peaks. And that all-important vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. Then add in a cup of sugar very slowly. I use a tablespoon to slow my bigger self down. That way the sugar crystals have a chance to dissolve. And you'll see it get nice and marshmallowy. Oh, and make sure your bowl and utensils are super clean, or it won't whisk to stiff peaks. You'll just get sweet egg white soup. Blech. And you want to whisk this to stiff peaks, which is about 15 minutes. That's stiff peaks. If you don't get stiff peaks like this, just keep whisking. It'll happen. To keep your parchment paper down, just put a little bit of the meringue on the corners. If you don't have a piping bag and tips, you can use a spoon and just dollop it on. Give the end a swirl around and make a hole in the middle to hold the filling. And you'll be surprised how easy this filling is. I love piping. Pipe a thick round bottom and make the sides with a little place for the filling. These look small now, but they'll balloon way up in the oven. And bake for 45 minutes to an hour. You want the outside shell to be crispy with the inside a marshmallowy texture. But if it's still liquid, it's not done baking. If you leave these in too long, they'll get dried out all the way through. And that's okay, because you will have just made meringue shells, and they're great with ice cream. Now for the caramel version, that's pretty much the same thing except you use brown sugar. So take your 3 egg whites, baking powder, cornstarch, lemon juice, and vanilla extract. And pack that measuring cup with brown sugar. If you don't have brown sugar on hand, you can use regular sugar and a tablespoon of molasses. If you don't have molasses on hand, well, you have to make a run to the store. Pipe them on and bake them. Now you top off your pavlovas with whipped cream. And you take 1.5 cups of heavy-duty cream, 1/2 cup of sugar, and whisk it to stiff peaks. It only takes a few minutes, and there you go. Now for the chocolate version, that's the same thing, and 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. This is the easiest way. You can make these ahead of time and store them in an airtight container in the fridge. Then assemble them right before serving. Serve them. These are so good. I hope you had fun today. If you did, give it a like, thumbs up, leave a comment, and don't forget to boop that bell.